marketers. Debra Eckerling here.
And I'm Keith Smith, and we host the MPN Meta Marketing Show, which is not just another marketing podcast, but the marketing podcast about all the other marketing podcasts.
Podcasts are booming, right? We love them, and people actually listen. They don't scroll, they don't swipe, well, except maybe during the ad breaks.
But here's the secret. With the Marketing Podcast Network, your ads don't make people hit skip. We put your brand on shows that people actually want to hear.
That's right. We match your message with podcasts that make marketing nerds like us perk up and take notes, or at least nod knowingly, pretending they understand.
And don't worry, because we'll deliver your ad naturally. People might even think that we love your brand personally, which of course we totally do, unless it's a veggie smoothie, then maybe not.
If you want your brand heard without making listeners roll their eyes,
head to marketingpodcasts.net and catch marketing fans at work, rest, and play. Seriously, your audience is already listening. Make sure they hear your brand and not our awkward jokes.
Join the conversation, because good ads shouldn't just be tolerated, they should be enjoyed.
Yes!
Welcome, everyone. I'm Debra Eckerling, author, goal strategist, and book proposal specialist, and this is the Book Proposal Podcast. On this episode, I'm answering the question, how do I fit writing my book into my already busy life? That is the $10 million question, isn't it? Most books are a labor of love. It's information you want to get out into the world, whether it's your experience, expertise, or even methodology that's going to help others. Well, here's the good news. At the early stages, even before writing your book proposal, you can start developing your content, what the book is, what makes it unique, and why you are the best person to write it in very short sprints of time. Literally, whenever you have an extra 5 or 10 minutes, start jotting down ideas, points you want to make, anecdotes to include, concepts to explore. Literally spill out all the things that are in your head that you want to be sure to cover in the book. And you can do this while standing in line, waiting to meet someone, or even if you're a few minutes early for a Zoom meeting. Instead of scrolling social media or sending a quick, not time-sensitive text, write down some of your book ideas. And you can also put these 5 or 10 minute increments into your schedule. Make an appointment to brainstorm a few times a week, whenever that makes sense. Very important though, keep all of the ideas that you're having in the same notebook or computer document. That way, everything is together for when you're ready to fully start working on your book proposal and eventually your book. Now, finding time beyond 10-minute increments, that is a challenge, but also feasible. I remember years ago when I ran in-person writer support groups, the first question I would often get from a new person would be, when is the best time to write? I don't know. Only you know your best time to write, whether it's in the morning, late at night, midday. You need to find the time that works for you. And the easiest thing to do is see if it's doable to get up 1 hour earlier in the morning or go to sleep an hour later at night and work on your book then. But that also doesn't work for everyone. What you basically need to do is look at your life, is see where you're spending your time, and then consider what adjustments you could potentially make. Can you use your lunch hour once or twice a week as book writing time? If you're a binge TV watcher at night, can you watch one less episode and write during that time? And if you work from home, can the time you used to commute be spent writing instead? Even if you block off 1 hour a couple of times during the week, or give yourself writing retreat time for a few hours over the weekend, it doesn't seem like a lot, but that time will definitely add up. Eventually, you will get to a point where your book is on such a roll, you'll be clamoring for time to work on it. We like to have the hours, but you don't necessarily even need them. You will effortlessly find bits and pieces of time throughout the course of your day because you're motivated and inspired to finally get your book to its endpoint. Writing a book is a marathon. It is not a sprint. And that is also why a book proposal is so important, no matter how you publish, no matter what sort of deadline you're on. I wrote your goal guide in 52 Secrets for Goal Setting and Goal Getting, each in less than 3 months. And I will also say that I wrote the bulk of each of them in the 3rd month. I was able to do that because they were fully developed book proposals. I knew what I was going to say. I just needed to write it. Once you have a roadmap for your content, a book proposal, you know where your book is and where you're going. And then when you do have those times to write, you can simply focus on getting the words out there and getting your book done. Thank you for tuning in. Please follow, subscribe, and join me every week. And let's turn your idea into a plan and your plan into a book so your book can get into the hands of those who need to read it. Do you have a question about book proposals? Email me, deb@thedebmethod.com. Connect with me on LinkedIn and follow @thedebmethod for more resources and tips to get you excited about planning and achieving your book publishing goals. And you can learn more at bookproposalpodcast.com.
You may know you're listening to this show along the Marketing Podcast Network, but did you know there are other great shows on MPN to help your business? Robbie Samuels hosts the On the Schmooze podcast. Robbie, tell listeners what to expect from the show.
Since 2015, I've interviewed entrepreneurs who overcame challenges to achieve success in their field or industry. Tune in to On the Schmooze to listen as I ask deep questions to elicit untold stories about leadership and networking.
And where can people subscribe?
Find the show at ontheschmooze.com or on marketingpodcast.net, or just search for it wherever you get your podcasts.
You heard them. Go subscribe. This podcast is heard along the Marketing Podcast Network. For more great marketing podcasts, visit marketingpodcasts.net.